How's everybody doing on today? What's good? What's good? Happy Friday. What's going on? Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me, y'all. I'm live in living color. Yo, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Yeah. Right now it's 4:17 Eastern Standard Time here in New York and everything. You know, kind of warm out here. It's still, in the morning time it's like chilly, but now in the afternoon it feels like summer again. Like this is what we still technically summer. Whole nine. Yeah, what to talk about? What to talk about? Yeah, I just got out of work and my colleagues had a conversation. One of my colleagues came to me. You know, they want they want to know my thoughts about Charlie Kirk. Because one of my colleagues, he doesn't watch too many television. But I think because of this whole Charlie Kirk assassination, got a lot of people talking. You know what I'm saying? I never thought that my colleagues would come to me and want to know, how do I feel about, the man, Charlie Kirk, and everything and so forth and so on. I just told him that, a lot of the stuff he was saying, I mean, some of the stuff I can kind of slightly agree, but there was some stuff that came out of his mouth. And one of my colleagues said, did he get what he deserved because the kind of rhetoric that he was spewing out and everything. I just hold to the side of this. you know I know the Bible says, is what you sow is what you reap. I want to be very careful, to walk that delicate walk, because I don't know, is what he got, what he sows is what we reap, because of the rhetoric that he was spewing. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that every human being supposed to be treated with respect. You know what I'm saying? No one should be taking anybody's life. Period. Hey, what's up, Cat 777? He said, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" How I feel about him as a person. I don't know how he is with his wife. He has a wife. He has children. He's just like a human being, just like everybody. You know, I don't know how I feel about him as a person. But judging his rhetoric, I can comment on the harsh rhetoric that he had spoken, some of the stuff that he was saying in one of those debates when he go to different colleges to debate the young intelligent minds. I think that a lot of the stuff that he was saying, it was out of pocket. But I feel personally that, and like, my son is right. He shouldn't be killed because he has an opinion. You know what I'm saying? No one should be taking a life from an individual. Period. That's common sense. You know what I'm saying? And so forth and so on. It's Ghost Gaming Save. First like is mine, bro. Alright, what's up? What's up? Cat 777 said, "Can you please pronounce my name right?" I got little lips. I had a little surgery when I was young, so I got a little speech impediment. So you gotta bear with me. You know what I'm saying? Just bear with me. If my diction is not all that great, so 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 give me a pass on that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But like I said, how do I feel him as a person? That's tough to answer, because although what he said on college campuses when he debated young people, is he said one thing, but I never had a relationship to see whether he is a racist, kind of a person. Does he have black friends? I can't really speak on that. You understand? But I could judge his rhetoric. I could say, some of the stuff he said was out of pocket. But I hold to the belief that his life should not be taken away. Do you know what happened to Charlie Kirk? Yeah, he got assassinated a couple of days ago. I was in the hospital with my son, right? I was in the hospital with my son when the news broke out that he got assassinated and everything. And my son saw a video. He shared it with me the, about the whole assassination, how he got shot. There's some conspiracy theorists will say that the guy who was standing next to him was giving like hand signals and everything. I don't know all about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but all I know that when he about to pick up that mic to answer somebody's question about the shooting that occurred at the school, and he said something, and then next thing you know, I saw the video how he got shot in the neck and blood was gushing out of his neck. You know what I'm saying? In a whole nine. So it was just crazy. Uh, let me y'all coming in too fast. Let me go back. Uh, that was Messi had said, do you know what happened to Charlie Cook? Young guard Kirk shooter is MAGA according to Fox. Wow. And we're gonna find more about, I think his name was Tyler Robinson, if my memory serves me correctly. They said his family turned him in, and he said something is almost like a manifesto in Italian. I can't pronounce the word, but once I go home, I'm going to dissect. What was the message he's trying to present. You know what I'm saying? An Italian word. I don't know if he's from Italian descent. I don't know. That's either here or there. But because of this political climate, they trying to make it as a left situation, like the left got something to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination. That's the narrative that they're spewing out, and they're using Eric Benet's social engineering rhetoric propaganda to try to make it like is a leftist situation. No, I don't think it's a leftist. You know what I'm saying? Young God said Kirk shooter is a MAGA according to Fox. We're gonna find out more. You know what I'm saying? I just read this from the New York Post, but we're gonna find out more if this was a MAGA person. You know what I'm saying? Who actually shot Charlie Kirk, and what have you. Massey said hi, good morning, good afternoon rather. It's good afternoon. It's 4:21 in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time in New York. Crazy Pasha said, hello, I am from India. How you doing from India? Shout out to India. What's going on? Hello, I am from India. You said that again. You posted that again. You must have had a typo error when you wrote that. It is 2 o'clock in the night. Of course, you're gonna have a different time zone. Right now, it should be like 2:25 a.m. right now in India. Tell me what time is it there now? It's 4:25. So right now it's 2:25 where you are. Coco Session said, I'm happy he hated black folks. Why you said that? Why you say you happy he hated black folks, man? Yo, you out of pocket. Don't let me say, yo, pack you up, man. Pack you up. That's how we talk nowadays. Yo, pack you up. We don't need that type of rhetoric. No, we are human beings. Since when being a human being is a crime? Since when being a person of color is a crime? You understand? I'm happy he hated black people, black folks. What to celebrate that? Come on, don't be saying stuff like that. You shouldn't be taught, hate. Whoever had nurtured you like taught you wrong. We're supposed to love everybody. That's not Christ-like love, and I'm a preacher. We don't go around saying I hate. I'm a byproduct of different races. My highest ethnicity is African. My second high ethnicity is European. My first cousin 12 times removed is Sir Isaac Newton. You know what I'm saying? So when I do my genealogy, I'm like, wow. That's good to know. But I love my black side too, and I'm my third high ethnicity. I'm Native American, because my grandfather was part Cherokee. So I'm a mix. I'm a mutt. I love everybody. I love everybody. I'm a sum total of everything. And I got blue eyes. The kids, it's funny. The kids where I work at in the high school, when they look at my eyes and they see my eyes blue, they say, your eyes look gorgeous. Like, I'm like, what? you know, because I got European in me. You know what I'm saying? It's no doubt, fam. You know what I'm saying? I got blue in my eyes. and the whole nine. But I ain't bragging or boasting, you know, because people in my family line, they worrying about they worrying about that segregation, hatred life and the whole nine. So yeah, crazy Parsha said is we already talked about that. Joe said stink of the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. Right? Central Intelligence, that deals with spies and espionage, and they got Central Intelligence. You know, Crazy Porsche say, why you keep repaying the time, man? Crazy Porsche. Russell Lamser said, an inquiry should be abound. The love of many shall wax cold. And I agree with you. That's in the Bible. I did a series on Facebook called the hashtag Letters in Red of Jesus Christ series. Yes, and that's in Matthew chapter 24. Yes, the love of many should grow cold. Imagine like you blowing a soup and it's hot. In order for the soup to get cold, you got to keep blowing it. And when you blow it, it's growing colder. And when it's like warm and cold, and then it's good to, that's how it is. The love of many is growing cold. People don't want to have the love of God in their hearts, and that's one of the non-fruit of the Holy Spirit. It starts out with love, joy, and peace, and etc. Temperance and self-control. You know the whole Galatians chapter number 5 scripture. Yeah, it's the love of God. It's not in people's hearts like that nowadays, and it's a sad commentary, but it's true. No pride in genocide, India. I'm trying to understand your emoji. Look like a vomit, a smiley face, vomited. Russell Lancer said that's crazy. Hey, crazy. I can't read that. Look like you're writing on John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth on him should not perish but have everlasting life. We all know that John 3:16. I've been taught that when I was a kid, and it resonates till this day and everything. Crazy Porsche said, hi, what happened to you? India is the best country. Now here's somebody bragging and boasting about India. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too much about India, but I love y'all movies. I love y'all food, Bollywood, and y'all got the baddest martial arts movies too. I thought I grew up on Chinese martial arts, the Shaw brothers, Kung Fu, Shaolin. But when I watched some martial arts action movies, of India, I say, yo, y'all got the littest action movies. I'll be like, yo, y'all got gang, and plus y'all be dancing in y'all movies. I think y'all got one up on the Chinese. The Chinese, they need to incorporate not only martial arts, y'all supposed to put musicals in it too. Because them Indians, they be dancing. After they fighting, they be dancing. The same fighters who be fighting like martial arts style, they got some dance move, them Bollywood dance move. And I said, yo, they got one up on the Chinese. Don't think I'm sleeping on y'all Indians. Nah, I ain't sleeping. And as a DJ, I be mixing some Bollywood style music, with other music. You know what I'm saying? I use Tidal, when I do my DJ on my virtual DJ Pro and everything. So yeah, y'all got some good music. You know what I'm saying? But you keep repeating yourself, Crazy Porsche. Tell me what happened to you. India is the best country. I I ain't gonna say, yo, you don't have the best country. You know, I don't know if you've been to America. You know what I'm saying? Come to America, find out. There you Garcia said, put your zip hoodie on the inside out, then zip it up. Leave it in on the outside, please. I'm begging you. I'm really desperate. Yo, why you worrying about my hoodie, fam? All right, I'm Bronx all day, every day. We do this. We could wear like this. We could zip it up. We could do whatever we like. You know what I'm saying? We could do whatever they like, fam. All right. I'm having fun with you, baby. All right. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's make you desperate. Why you make you desperate? Why my hoodie make you desperate, huh? Alright? Having fun with y'all, baby. Christopher, it said it's 8:25 in New Zealand. I got people from New Zealand watching me. What's going on? 8:25 a.m. in New Zealand. What's going on, New Zealanders? What's going on? Daniel Godzilla said, please, why you worrying about what I got on, fam? It's my hood. I can do whatever I like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If it's nervous, you know, just get off the tube. For real. R.I.P. He said, do it. Russell Lamb, sir, how are you and where are you from? I'm here in America, fam. I'm in America. You know what I'm saying? The land of the free, the home of the brave, how they say. Crazy Portia said, okay, I already read that. Joe, that man didn't hate anyone. You know, there's so much opinions about that, you know. It's just that because of the rhetoric that he was saying and everything, it sound like hated. Even if you say he didn't hate anyone, it's because the legacy that he left behind, the words, and when you go back into video archives of what he has said, it will take high precedence over who he is as a person. You know what I'm saying? And that's how people going to judge him, based on the words that he said. And people going to paint this narrative that he's a hated person because he said, yo, when I heard what he said in the past, I'm like, what? Are you serious? My reaction as a black person, I said, what? Are you serious? Did you say that? You know, us as the people, we supposed to be believing in equality and love and respect. You know, you can marry whoever you want to marry, but because I'm a Christian, I believe marriage is supposed to be between a husband and wife, you know, male and female. That's my beliefs. You understand? But like I said, I'm a byproduct of, you know, biracial relationship down in genealogy. You know, my great grandmother was a mulatto, and then my great grandmother was white and everything, and my great grandfather was black. So I come from that biracial lines and everything. In New York, you hear the music. This when you live around a lot of Dominicans around here. You know what I'm saying? They play that bachata music. You know what I'm saying? They play that music up in here. Yeah. How do we consider you Indian? No, I'm talking about Native American, not the Indian like y'all on the East. We're talking about the Native Americans. You know, like Cherokee, the Navajo Indians, those kind of Indians. I come from that heritage, you know, of Native Americans, not the Indians over like like the Indians and the Pakistanis, the Bangladesh type of people. Nah, not that type of Indian. Not next to China. You understand? They call y'all Asians and y'all call yourself Indians. But here, because America has been colonized, they drove away, the Native Americans, and this was Native American land before the whites had colonized it. You understand? It was mixed. You understand? So yeah, but so I don't want y'all to get misinterpret thinking that when I say I'm Native American, it's like I'm like you crazy Parsha that you was born in India. You know, we're not that type of Indian. We are the Native Americans. You understand? So like I said, I'm a mutt. I'm African by ethnicity, European by ethnicity, second highest, and third highest is Native American. Yeah, so I hope I bring clarity. Valentina Asala say, yo, he said, I be in the USA learning different languages. That's good, that's good. You gotta be educated to learn different languages, you know. Learn some Spanish and all the whole nine. Yeah. Thank you. He said, if you zip your hoodie on the inside out, it protects the inside. I don't know what you're talking about. I got this conventional zipper right here. I don't zip it on the inside. I zip it regular, the way how I grew up. Zip it regular. I don't know what you're trying to say. Do I need to like? If you feel like, if y'all want to like my page, go ahead, like it. I talk real talk, you know what I'm saying? I'm live and unfiltered, do whatever you like, man. Our India is very nice. We love everyone. All right, that's what's up. I'm glad that India likes everybody. And I know some friends who had married, some of my friends, people of color, had married Indian women. You understand? So that's good, If you find your person from a different race, I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at you. And the whole nine. Yeah. Crazy Portia said, in India, we don't look at color, looks. We look at humanity in our India. That's good. That's what's up. That's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to look at everybody as a human being, regardless of one's ethnicity or nationality. That's how we're supposed to do. Here in America, it's supposed to be like that too. But like I said, people in America, it's not a monolith. Even though we are a melting pot, but it's not a monolith. Everybody doesn't share the same views. It's sad, but it is what it is, and everything. Valentina said, do I need to like? Crazy Portia said, thank you. We are in the beginning of sorrows. Yep, I agree with you. That's Matthew chapter number 24. The end is not yet here. When you hear wars and rumors of wars, nations against nations, pedestalness means incurable diseases, famine, and earthquake in diverse places. That's when when he's coming back. What's up? Nigga? All right. Yeah, that's when when we living in the last and evil days. Yeah, these are the beginning of our sorrows. Remember, Jesus Christ said that the end is not yet. There are some prophecies that need to be fulfilled before Christ comes back and raptures up the church. And like the Bible says in 1 Thessalonians chapter number 4, verse 16, it says, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel and the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise up first. And they that are alive remain shall be caught up together in the cloud and meet the Lord up in the air. So shall we forever be with the Lord. Yes, when you see these prophecies are happening in this world today, it's not for us to be fretful, you know, to be scared. It's letting us know that he's coming back, and he's coming back for a glorious church without spot or wrinkle. We as the believers of Christ, we got to be ready when he comes. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you. They said, "Where are you going? Aren't you getting tired of walking?" No, I'm putting the steps in. I'm 52, about to turn 53. I ain't suffering from atrophy, you know. I got to put my step in, you know what I'm saying? It's good for the heart. Boom, boom, boom. My dad passed away at the age of 60 back in 2007 when he had a heart attack. I'm 53 and I got 53. I got some more years to turn 60. The age that he lived to see 60, but he didn't live to see 61, 62, 63. He never lived to be in his 70s. So I wanna live, man. I wanna live. So that's why I'm doing the walking and having conversation with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting out my workout and also, you know, have a conversation with y'all. You know what I'm saying? See where everybody positioning on, or whether it be politics, religion, and everything. I would like to know where everybody's at in the whole nine, and so forth and so on. I want to see your city. Please show me your city. This is all you're gonna see right here. Got the kids playing football over there. That's all you're going to see. Because you got to be careful nowadays, you know, in the days of social media, man. People be stalking you and the whole nine. Yeah, that's all you're going to say. I ain't telling you where I'm at, you know, in the whole nine. Not to say y'all like that, but we gotta be circumspect. We gotta be wise nowadays, man, for real. Yeah. Do you know Shahrukh Khan, Salman Khan, Bollywood actors? I think so. You know, when I be watching on Netflix, I don't know them by name, but when I do watch those videos and everything, you know, I appreciate, you know, their artistry, their work and everything, you know, and so forth and so on. Yeah. Are you Chinese? Nah, I'm not Chinese. I wish, man. I grew up watching Shaolin Kung Fu movies growing up when I was young back in the days. You know, I admired the Chinese and everything. I admired their martial arts and the whole nine. But nah, fam. You know, I'm not Chinese, man. You know, I know how to make makeshift nunchucks. You know, I know if you go on my YouTube page, like probably like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I made nunchucks when I was young, and I found nunchucks that I made, and I showed my oldest son that I still got the chops. I know how to do nunchucks, you know, like and everything, because I was inspired when I was a young person to make them joints back in the day. Yeah. Which Indian actor do you like the most as a movie here? I don't know the names, because y'all name sounds complicated, no offense, but I just don't know them. I just be watching it one time and everything, and I be watching like different movies. I don't know the actor's name or even the actresses, but y'all know how to do good movies. And I love Nollywood too. What I mean by Nollywood, African movies. Yo, Africans on the come up. Yo, my motherland, Africans with their Afro beats and their love movie drama. Yo, they on a come up, man. For real. You can't sleep on the Africans, them Nigerians and all them Africans with those movies. Can't sleep on them, man. You know, I don't see their action movies, but they be making some good movies too, and the music. Y'all probably think that, you know, it sound like Jamaican dancehall, but India, no, Africa, they got some good music, and I be DJing Afro beats too. I be mixing on, you know, Bollywood with Afro beats as a DJ. I be mixing it up, y'all. Whole nine. Best stay out of trouble. Alright. Not a troll. Best to stay out of trouble. I think NGA. I know what you're trying to say, but I ain't saying that N-word. I don't use that as a terms of endearment. I used to do that when I was young. You say, yo, what's up, man? I don't say that anymore. But I'm a Christian. I'm a new creation in Christ. I don't say that. Hold on a second. Let me cross the street. Because this highway gets busy. You got to look both ways before you cross the street here. And the whole nine. All right. Because they be wilding on this side of the street. Yeah. Stan Agra. Message restricted. Skills edit said, my little chicken muncher. I don't know what you mean by that. My little chicken muncher. I'm just making fun of you, man. Skill edit said, Stan Russia is in the right. I don't know about that. Oh, y'all having a back and forth conversation. No, Russia is our very good friend. We have very good relationship. We're talking about Vladimir Putin. And as long as our friendship lasts, the moon, the sun, and the earth, and our friendship always be the utmost honesty. Yes, your friend, for cheap oil. Yo, why y'all having a conversation? I'm talking. Y'all be going at it, man. Like, yo, for real, this is what y'all do while I'm talking. Y'all talking. I could be like talking about by the sands of the hourglass. Those were the days of our lives. And y'all having a conversation and y'all ain't paying attention to me. Oh, God. This is what y'all do? Y'all back and forth conversation. Y'all are cracking me up. Look at the conversation. And some of the conversation had been held for review and is being muted, because y'all be saying some off-the-wall stuff with each other. You know what I'm saying? We have male and females. Yo, y'all are having a conversation while I'm talking. For real. Free Palestine. Y'all are off the hook. Free Palestine. Y'all having a conversation about Israel and Palestine. Look at this. Look at this. Y'all are wilding. For real. There's a spammer. Look at y'all. Y'all are wilding. Y'all are having a conversation. How y'all gonna have a dialogue and I'm on a video? Oh God, this is funny. This is funny. That's gonna show you the kind of world we living in, man. What happened to real live conversations? You know what I'm saying? This is funny. Got me looking. Look at this. You're a hilarious dog. What are your thoughts on Charlie Kirk shooting? I already expressed my thoughts. I said, yo, I may not agree with all what he's saying. Some I had agree, but I feel like a human being shouldn't be killing another human being because they have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Whether how you feel about a person, nobody should be killing. You know what I'm saying? It's sad how evil is in the hearts of people. Someone just mentioned, based on Matthew chapter number 24. The love of many shall wax cold, meaning grow cold. We're living in a time where people's hearts are growing cold. And when I see postings on Facebook, coming from my Christian contemporaries, I'm like shocked to see, what they posting. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. And these are people, I affiliate in ministry and everything. It's, when I mean affiliate, I'm not talking about my church, my Reformation. No, I'm talking about, people I know who are Christians, who are preachers, who are even lay members, laymen who don't hold clergy titles, expressing their thoughts and views and opinions about Charlie Kirk and everything. But most agree, said, he shouldn't be killed because of his, because he's, nobody should be killing people whatsoever. Wrong is wrong. Let's call it. We cannot make killings ambiguous, and we cannot justify killing. Some killings, I would say, is justified if you want to save your life. If you feel like if your life is in danger, and you feel like, yo, your door's open. You gotta open it up. You gotta close it. Let me see. Oh, my bad. I thought I'd try to fix it. My bad. Yeah, the door. Gotta fix it. Sorry. My man got the string on his door. He didn't want to take it to a car repairman. This is what they do. Yeah, and they could cause an accident. What if that door just the rope just give up, right? It fell on the ground and somebody driving, boom. Yeah, they don't think. Yeah. That is crazy. Yeah, crazy, loco. Yeah. How you gonna ride your truck and your car door, the trunk of the car door just open like this, boom, and you got strings to hold the door, and you don't want to spend the money to fix it. And what if that door comes off? I thought I was going to fix it by closing the door, and the door just came off. Imagine he had a what you call it? When you driving, you hit a bump. Imagine the whole door comes off and the string pops. It caused an accident that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's crazy. Skill Edit says some dude a while back in the chat said you look like the kid from Sid, the science kid. Yo, y'all be having conversations while I'm talking. No whole nine. But I'm about to wrap this up though, but the conversation is real. Y'all having conversations while I'm on live and everything. Are y'all paying attention to me? Whole nine. What's up, man? What's going on, man? Yeah. But I appreciate y'all communicate on my page and everything. Which parents' gene are more significant to the IQ of offspring? Look at y'all. Y'all be asking the craziest questions. I believe in nature versus nurture. I believe nature is inherited and nurture is environmental. It's who you are genetically. You understand? Genetically predisposed. Who you are. You understand? You're gonna have your mother's traits, your father's traits because of the DNA. You understand? I was sharing someone on my job that although I have 2 boys from my late wife who passed away, but I could see a lot of their personality ways of my late wife, through my boys, how they communicate, and I could see my wife through my boys, and some of them have my personality too, but it all depends. And two of my boys on have different personalities. Two of my boys are not the same, but they are different. My boys are different. You know, my oldest son, he's a right hand. He's a right hand. He right hand, just like my late wife. But my youngest son, he writes left hand like me. You understand? And my son, my two boys, I can see some of my wife's personality in both and everything. So yeah, I definitely, you know, I can't say, male IQs are higher than females. I cannot do that. I cannot do that when it talks about the intelligent quotient. Who has the most strongest intelligent quotient. Nah, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can say this, men are more logical, right? We think with logic and everything, and women are emotional, because they have emotions. They go through, their periods of, what, man? When they go through their their monthly cycles and stuff like that and everything. And who's this? White girl magic. What's up, white girl magic? You better not be a white girl using the N word. And got to know this. Watch your mouth, white girl, because you don't want to get hurt when you say the N word. I don't even use that N word as a terms of endearment, because that word was meant to degrade us blacks, and it hurts me that even in our community, using a racist word that the white man is using, but drop the R and said, "Yo, what's up, my N?" No, that shouldn't be used as a terms of endearment. Period. You understand? No, nobody should be using that word. And white girl magic, come on, let's get it right. Don't say that N word, because white people get beat up for saying the N word nowadays. You say the N word, that incites a black person, like pow pow. You know, have you seen some viral videos where a white guy calling a black man the N word, and it just sparks him like what? Boom! Like, and now the young the black people nowadays, they say they not their ancestors. And when they say that they are not their ancestors, meaning that they ain't soft, because the ancestors of the old, like in the civil rights movement, they took the dogs and the water hose and everything. These blacks, they cut different. They built different. That's why they say they're not their ancestors. You know what I'm saying? For real. You know. Try to say the N-word to a black YN. And yo, they be lit. So these young people, the young blacks, don't mess with them. That's all I got to say. White people, don't mess with the YNs. I'm gonna call them young Negroes, because the YNs has a different connotation. Tell me, do American girls get married to boys from your country? Yeah, but it seemed like as of late, we live in an era where black women are married to the white woman, and you have the black men going to the Philippines, married the Filipino woman, and everything, because they feel like the women and submissive and docile, and it seems like the black women, yeah, it's complicated in these days and age of relationship. You got to join Clubhouse. I joined Clubhouse. I get in a lot of conversations and talk about relationship talks and everything. Yeah. Protagonist says Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Rosa Parks. How I feel about them? They was part of the civil rights movement, and we're grateful what Martin Luther King did. Stood up for equal rights. And so forth and so on. Malcolm X, he had a different road on how to deal with on the race card issues back then. And Rosa Parks, she was that black lady who sat in the front of the bus and everything. And they no longer here. They they weren't soft though. Yeah, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna order some food and everything. I just got off of work. I'm gonna order some food for my son and I. You know, I'm chilling. I'm not cooking today. Eat some Chinese food today. All right. I just want to say I love y'all all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to my page. I appreciate it. These 45 minutes. Thank you so much. I'm gonna continue to go on this page and have real life, real talk, unfiltered conversations. All right. Just want to say God bless y'all all. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day, and shalom.